Welcome to Ever Beyond, 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 Beyond. On Wolf Spirit Radio, Ever Beyond Radio, and Tir Nassau in Ireland. Be prepared to leave your belief systems behind as we go beyond teachers, beyond gurus, beyond duality, ever beyond, beyond. Please join us in the chat room at www.wolfspiritradio.com/listen. You're listening to Wolf Spirit Radio. Well, I have to say, I really do like that new bumper. It's great. I love the little, even though I made it myself, because I make these things about 6 months ago, and I completely forget about them, and then, it's time for a new bumper, and there's the new music. So I really quite enjoy that, even though it's my own, and that's why I make music. It's for my own enjoyment. It's not for anybody else, really. It's not for showing off or anything. So welcome to tonight's Ever Beyond. It's 18th of what the hell is it? October. What year is it? 2015. It's been zipping by. I have to say, this week, in a way, I'm really glad it's over, but it's been like a kind of uphill struggle. It's really been like a final exam sort of thing. When students take the final exams and they're up all night and they're working and cramming and all that stuff. So this week I've managed to rebuild an entire radio station website, rebuild the streams. We got TV programs going on Project Camelot, and I did some stuff. I actually managed to do stuff in my house. Tidied up my electronics working area, so it's got a nice light and shelves and things like that, as opposed to just a chaotic mess, which is what it was before. Anyhow, that's enough about me. This morning, yesterday, we recorded it, and my girlfriend and I, Wolf Baby, recorded a show for her show. It was called In the Den with Wolf Baby, and she was talking about various beings. She talks about her council of various beings, Anubis type beings, dog-headed, and today she was starting to talk about the elephant-headed people, and their links. And something was tickling in the back of my head, thinking, "Hang on a second, I've heard about this somewhere. And suddenly it dawned on me, or maybe I think even somebody might have reminded me, but it just clicked. Mugzzi, Ray, George. Now you have to understand that by the time I get to your show on Mondays at 7 PST on Wolf Spirit Radio and on Blog Talk, but I relay your show usually, and by that time I'm usually totally exhausted, and I don't stuff doesn't really go in. It just kind of flies over my head. And it kind of absorbs slowly through the download process, but without me being conscious of it. And so it all started to fall together. So, to that end, tonight I have two guests, good buddies. One an old friend of mine, and one an old friend of hers. So first of all, I'd like to introduce Dr. Ms. Sam Mugzzi of the Ms. Mugzzi show of Monday nights, and her friend Ray Kosulandich. I got it right. But I just want to say, hey, Mugzzi, how you doing, my dear?
Hi, sweetie. And we're doing great.
So here we are. Hello, Ray. How are you doing?
Fine. How are you?
How are you doing? I'm doing all right today. We've got good internet weather. We've had very few interruptions. Sometimes it's really busy, and you can't hold a phone call. So we're getting some good signals, and everything's working nicely today. So hopefully your communications now. So it was through Mugzzi that I was introduced to you and this being who you called George. So Ray, would you like to introduce yourself, how you got to this, and then the people that you started meeting? When I say people, I'm talking people in a very general sense. So, away you go, my friend.
My name is Ray Kosulandich. I'm a long-time contactee. As of to this day, I've met a total of 34 star people. People call them aliens, ET. They're star people. It all started with my late grandfather, Yugoslavia. He had met this little 12-inch dwarf, and he would have his coffee. He was a lumberjack, and he would sit on his stump. My grandmother would make him like 5 sandwiches, and this little 12-inch colored clothes dwarf would come out of the woods and sit on his stump. My grandfather would give him a sandwich, and they would talk. And the reason that this dwarf was there was to let my late grandfather know that me and my late father will be chosen to meet many ETs. We didn't know the crafts they flew in or who was inside the crafts. But the first ones we really met, and that's the ones I call my Fab Four. They're actually listening to the show now. George is the honor of Mugzzi. She gets a right for calling George the Elephant Man George. He's from the 13th and 14th dimension. He's a warrior. The other ones are the Nordiques that look just like us. A lot of times his wife's in the meeting room with me. The Serpo Grays from the planet Serpo. And my very first encounter, this all started in 1959. I was 12 years old. My little 3-inch humanoid buddies from the 5th and 7th dimension. These little guys, it's like blowing up a helium balloon. They just keep you in stitches. You know, you're always laughing. It's like a real cartoon. I'm waiting for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and Bambi and everything. It's just, if I wanted anybody to meet, the star people, it would be these little 3-inch guys. But I actually went to Planet Serpo with my late father once, twice by myself. These guys are vegetarians. They're real friendly. All these star people, other than the 4 bad ones that I met, are real friendly. I just had it was Saturday morning, because me and Mugzzi did a special show on these Vulcans that I met from the 11th dimension. They're from the planet Zentaur. They got pointed ears. If you, a lot of you people listening might have grew up with Star Trek. These people are real. It was amazing what had happened when I was on their craft. They have 2 crafts, flying saucer with like 3 windows under a dome, and the one that I went to meet them in, it was like a giant metallic ball with a black light cut through the middle with white lights, and I had to take a pill to go on this craft. But there was 12 Vulcans in this room that they took me in with all colored chairs. The thing that I wasn't ready for, we were sitting in these chairs, and I was talking to the leader of the Vulcans. He says, would you like something to drink? And it threw me off, because I never had any of the star people ask me this. And I said, yeah. He says, we got water, we got your coffee. So I said, coffee's fine. And then he said, would you like something to eat? And I wasn't really hungry. He said, we got your pizza. So they would have gave me pizza if I wanted it. But it was really amazing what took place in this craft, because as we were traveling, they have this big screen window light going forward, and I could see a lot of debris. It looked like it was going to hit the craft, but somehow they were diverting all this the way they were flying through outer space, and then the craft completely came to a halt. And then that's when we started talking, and these other 11 Vulcans were doing their thing. But when he went to get the coffee, he went to this wall with all these buttons, and he pushed this one button and pulled out a hot cup of coffee and brought it over by me on this weird-looking table. And I had to go to the bathroom. And the leader and 2 Vulcans walked with me. in front of this room, and he raised his hand, and his door slid open, and then I went inside, and it was a weird looking commode. So I was in there doing my thing, and I was looking around for toilet paper. They don't have any toilet paper. And all of a sudden, this enormous scent, it was great. It did everything. And when I got up, I kind of just turned to the left to the wall. And as soon as I did, this mirror appeared. And I was just amazed about the way we do things and the way they do things with the technology they have now. And I raised my hand, and this door opens, and all three of them are out there laughing, smiling. And I said, can I take this with me? Because I could make millions off of this. And then the leader of the Vulcans said, you'll be able to do this pretty soon. You'll be using this. So then we went back to the room, and they were talking to me about, see, I had meetings of my own, first Monday in a month at CJ Mugz, and I do a lot of shows with Sam and other people. And just like my Fab Four right now are listening to everything I'm saying, because anytime I'm getting information out, you know, they know what I'm doing for them. I'm a voice for them. I'm a contact. That's what we do. And they were telling me how the information, the way I was getting out, they really liked. And we were kind of standing up, and these other 11 Vulcans were coming over, lined up. They have 4 fingers. They have a thumb, 3 fingers, not the little finger on the end. They're totally a dark green color with dark eyes, and the eyes are slanted way back. There's a slant with like a flat top with black hair, black eyes, and pointed ears. And the leader was about 6'2". I'm 6 foot. He's about 2 inches bigger than me. And majority of them are 5'7", right in there. But they were all lined up, and they were giving me high fives and hugging. And then the way I was dressed, I had on this black sweatshirt with my cardinal hat, jeans. And that's what I want to kind of tell your audience. We're not astronauts. You know, this is the way we're taken, and we're accepted to anything. These people are coming from all over, and there'll be radiation on the side of the craft, magnetic field, and you got germs because you're touching. But the only incident I ever had happened to me and my late father, I'm going to kind of jump here. We were with the Circle Grays, and we were coming out of the craft, and immediately, I was 12 years old, and we both bent over, and our noses were bleeding real bad. It wasn't hitting the ground. It was like a chain necklace going back into the next nostril. Because we're both hitting ourselves in the chest, and I was looking over at my father, my late father. I thought we were going to die right there. And then the blood stopped, and we pursued to the car. And a lot of people know this story. My dad had went grocery shopping. It was the first time we were actually going to meet Star people together. He bought all the groceries and 2 loaves of bread. But when we came back to the car, we watched him walk back and take off in our craft. And I was only 12 years old, and I turned around, looked in the back seat, and I saw everything there was there but the bread. And so I was grabbing my dad by the arm, and I said, Daddy, they took the bread. So anyway, the car started, we would go back. My dad had a 4-family flat. I grew up in a town called Dogtown. And we would meet back there and talk. And this little 12-year-old kid, I was talking to I called him my giant because my dad was pretty tall. I said, next time we see the Star people, we bring bread. Well, my dad laughed. The next time we went to meet him, he took 5 loaves of bread. The third time we went to meet him, he took 7 loaves of bread. And that was the number of loaves, even to this day, I would take every time I meet anybody new or the ones I've always met. And so now it's all me. And all these people are friendly. These people are watchers and protectors of this planet. And we're in a situation now where they're going to take care of us. It's our time to evolve as humans, to go into the 4th and 5th dimension on this planet Earth. That will be 4th and 5th dimensional, bigger and more beautiful planet. And I'll kind of stop right there because I want to give Sam and you time to talk. So if you got any questions, JP.
Oh, I've got a good question. All right, so excellent. Thank you so much, Ray. So, Ray Kosulandich, you've... when you were 12, were you in the States or were you in Yugoslavia?
The States. No, my late grandfather was in Yugoslavia.
Right, okay. And so the first beings, you see, you know what, we often think about, meeting ETs as being larger giants sometimes, and we've been talking about, there are people talking about 50-foot, 70-foot giants, people who live on the asteroid belt being, 70-foot giants because that's the size of their planet before it got destroyed. And so when you talk about 3-inch being, when you think about scale, it's got to go up and it's got to go down. So Stephen Greer's been talking about a little 6-inch guy, and Stillings was talking about a 1-foot guy from Mars. So 3-inch guys, and they're funny, yeah. They sort of did they jump around? How do they cope with not being trodden on and stuff?
They can float. They have these little suits with these little slashes for, I guess it's like their speaker. And my ET name is Raymond. And when my late father was alive, his name was Rudolph. He was called Rudolph. But and I didn't know what to really call these guys. And when I it was always my Fab Four, and it kept coming to my mind. They're not the Beatles, and I called them the Fab Four, and I loved that name. But these guys, these little 3-inch guys on our planet, they live underneath the ground. Majority of your star people live underneath the ground, in these trees. And everything, when we grew up as kids, everything was said to us that things were bad, they weren't real. Everything is real. Gnomes, fairies, you just said something about 50-foot. There's these 50-foot Nishans and 27 to 30 feet tall white warriors that are now on Mars. They kind of took it over a little bit. They were fighting these 25-foot reptilians, 2 hearts that were in control up there. And one of my 34 by the name of the Frog People are on the north side of Mars, up there where it snows. But I met the ant people, the worm people, the cat people, the orange people, the monk people. I met the blue warriors, and there's another blue lady with like a third eye, dressed back in the Egyptian days. The Egyptian people, back in Christ times. I met, a total of 34. And these Vulcans, the number 33 are the giant bird people. They're real good friends with the Vulcans. And the other star people with the Vulcans are the Mo people and these giant bees, these real friendly giant bees that are 6 to 8 feet tall. But I don't know why I'm the one that gets a chance to meet all these people and insects, but it's been the greatest education of my life. It's still going on. We're contactees, and we're the voice for them, and the voice for the people on this planet. And for 2 late people that ain't with me no more, I'm carrying the torch, because I told my late father before he died I would find out and get the answers why, who, when, and where, what this is all about. And I've been getting real close with this. But
okay, well, okay, so how close are you? What are the answers to the why, the when, and the where? Ray Kosulandich, thank you. Right here on Ever Beyond. You heard it first.
Number one, when you go into the 4th, because some people will bypass and go into the 5th, that will be master teachers, and my good friend Sam will be one of them, working with ETs. When we actually go into the 4th, you're going to actually go 4-8, 449. And the reason I say that is there's other ETs, bad ETs, out there that can't handle that frequency. It's all about frequency and timelines. But when you go into the fourth, you will know, number one, who your star person ET is. And you have a star seed. So let's say you're Pleiadian. That's your star seed. That's your number one relation. You will go to your star seed. You will learn everything about yourself, your past lives, everything that was taken away, why you wanted to come to this planet Earth in the position it's in. Because whether you believe it or not, we all asked to come here, okay? My guys said I came through portholes to get here. So I just go with that. They've never lied to me. These people have always been backing me up, and I've been backing them up. All these 34 that I met, they're everybody's friends. And whoever gets the first calling for the first one for contact, because now you're going to see nothing but good star people. This planet Earth that we're on will no longer be the way it is. You're going to actually change. You're going to be a human with a human face. You're going to be a crystallized being. The men will be 8'4". You'll be tall and slim. No disease. No warriors. Not one for nothing. No poverty. It's the way that we're going to go, that it should have been a long time ago. But with the greed and disease, there's the two top things known down here by the star people, in a monetary system of money. And there will be no money as we know it. We'll be trading energy and goods just like ET. I don't want to take over this show, JP, so I'm going to kind of stop.
Listen, man, it's a lot more interesting than listening to me, I tell you. Keep going. So,
think of sandwich jack. You know, I'm here. I can talk about this all night. This has been my life for over 55 years.
Well, that's great. That's why we have radio shows, to bring people who have this stuff kind of all at the tip of their tongue, and it's it's through experience and through contact. So, okay, so let's move into the why of it. We've been here. We're here, and there's something going on. So there's the what, and then there's the why. The what is happening. Is that making sense? So what is it that's going on, and then why is it that we're all here doing this thing? What it was. I know this is a very common question, but I like to get everybody's answer on it and sort of see, sort of where it all fits together.
It's really way up beyond us, in a sense. What your audience has to understand is, through the millions of years of all the bad ETs that come here, I've actually seen planet Earth, actually now 4 times with the Vulcans. It's the most beautiful planet ever. It's round. It is round. I know that for a fact. I just seen it again Saturday morning. And I can see why everybody comes to this planet. And they have been. You got markings on the caves, and you got the pyramids. If NASA would have wanted a little bit to the right on Mars, you would have seen the same pyramids that are down here that are up there, trying to tell people now that they just found water. When me and my late father, we were really close. We kind of said our guys were using teleportation in 1945. They were actually using it in 43. We got an underground military base up there. They're working with 6 other ETs. One of them is our cousins. They're real chunky. And we're going to meet our cousins. Almost everything is taking place. But whoever it was that came in here way back and controlled whoever was on this planet, and this was supposed to happen 368 years ago, what we're going to go into now. And but this is what these people do. But I'll kind of use what the reptilians did, and that's where we're at now. They took the frequency and they've set it so low. We're third dimensional cores, so are they. We couldn't evolve. Things were taken away. Their whole agenda was the entire Milky Way, the 20 other planets with humanoid star people that look like us, symbol, and us. We would have been all reptilians. But my good friend Tolik, the Andromeda Council, you can thank these people called the Procyons, because I'm going to have a woman on my meeting that is actually, that's her star seed. And I never met them or the good vegetarian reptilians that knew the weakness of the Hydro and Draco reptilians and the Orion Greys. Back in 2011, when they shot that sonic blast, I can't remember the state it was in, and they blew up all the reptilian bases and Orion Grey bases, and they caused a 5.0 earthquake. What our star people were worried about, it might have killed some of our humans. And there was only like 250 left down here. So we're in a process in the 21st century of the humans that are here now, which is us. It's our time to evolve to the fourth and fifth dimension from a 3D core to a crystallized being. And Mother Earth is going to be the main puzzle, but she's going to push out her third dimensional core and become fourth and fifth dimensional on this bigger and beautiful planet we're on right now. The people that are third dimensional core, and I put the reptilians in this because they're kind of screwed. You're going to end up dying. But anyway, when she goes through her changes and the frequency gets to a certain point, they can't stand that frequency. They would disappear and die. But you got humans that, we're not the only ones going through this, JP. You got other star people out there going through the same thing we're going through. But you got star people and you got humans that want to stay third dimensional. It will be nothing like this third dimensional world we're in for them. They found 2 giant planets out there the size of Jupiter, 2 suns, 2 oceans, crystal clear water, some animals already up there, and clean air to live out their third dimensional lives. And also it's a waiting planet for some of these third dimensional beings that want to change their mind and be fourth dimensional. This is in the process. And then you got people that just don't care. These are the people that write the bad comments every time you do a show, and you got good people talking about you, JP, and bad, me and Sam did the same thing. These are the people I'm trying to save. And these are the people that will try to remember your name, your phone number, and try and call you when it's too late, when the shit hits the fan. Because when Mother Earth does her thing, they can't withstand that frequency. They're going to disappear and die, and just like the reptilians and the people that kill and steal. Anything negative will never go to the new fourth and fifth. We got so many people, and the star people are so amazed how many people are ready to go. Matter of fact, we got some people that are going to ascend next week. I know this is complex for your audience to understand. I'm not a scientist. This is the greatest education I've gotten, and these people taught me. So I understand what you're saying.
Have no fear, Ray.
Pardon me?
Have no fear. You can speak freely, because the people who are listening to this, they're already on a level. There's very few skeptics in here, if any. So we're kind of up to speed, if you like. So this is really good news. Can you talk a little bit more about? As I said, this very morning we were talking about elephant people or elephant-headed people, and we were talking about the Indian god Ganesh, And can you characterize George, if you like? Sort of describe how he is.
George is a warrior. He's 8 to 10 feet tall. There's nothing. Everybody sent me emails and pictures of the Danish elephants. He's not related to them at all. I don't know who his actual relationship is. And Sam can vouch for this, because when George came into her life, me and her we're sitting in the comfort of our own homes. We're listening to battles. Okay? Real life battles going on, what they're doing to the reptilians, Orion Greys, and what they just did with the Archons. He's the number 2 man. As far as I know, I found out the number 1 man is Valiant Thor. I don't know if you're aware of this man's name. He's a Venetian from Venus. He came to our planet in 1957. He's going to get confirmation of what we're going through, because the manual, and I'll get back to George in a second, the manual script that he had, that was probably as thick as a Bible, is what a lot of star people go by. They trade for energy and goods. There's no wars. Everybody's equal. And if there's any kind of war whatsoever, they take care of it. They know how to handle it with the technology and weapons they got. And Eisenhower, back in that time, really liked this guy, and he was going to do it. But when he gave this to the brass and the monetary system of money and the pharmaceuticals and all the hospitals and everybody that would have been out of business, because we're in this 3D world of greed and disease, and that's what changed everything. But in the end, we're all going to be doing what Valiant Thor wanted us to do. Now, my Elephant Man George is number 2 man. He has brought in billions of ETs. My 34 that have underground bases down here, there's ETs that walk amongst us, the Nordiques that look just like us, my friends. These star women, they have slanted eyes all the way back. They're beautiful women. You put a blouse and a pair of jeans on these people, they look just like us. The only way you can tell these people, the 2 I mentioned, of being a star person, their eyes don't blink. We got a lot of people helping us. Everybody has a job to do and perform when George calls on what to do. And he's got star people in every position for CERN, HARP. Actually, the first CERN, they shut down for a week. Georges always have the upper hand over our bad people that are running the show and what they were getting ready to do. A major thing was going to happen, but I was waiting until Friday, this last Friday, and he told me it's not going to happen, but he's got his people in the position in case they try to pull anything. You got people that are running the show. I'm an ex-GI, and I was educated in that alone. A lot of people don't believe there are people that run the show who want to kill us. We got 7 billion people on this planet, and they want to eliminate enough where it's 500 million globally that they can control. That's why George W. Bush Jr. got all these FEMA camps to put us in and chip us and eventually kill us all. But George is going to eliminate a lot of that stuff, and they're going to make sure us humans go through this smooth and advance like we're supposed to. And it will happen in the 21st century as the humans that we are now. And like I said, George is a warrior. He's got a lot of power. He's got a lot of star people backing him up. These people come from other dimensions, inner and outer galaxies, universes, to come here and do what they're supposed to do. And I want to make this clear. We're not the only ones going through this on planet Earth. There's other star people going through the same thing. It all started with the new alignment of the planets. everything plays its part down to the last piece of Mother Earth. And she will be the final piece. And when she starts moving into the fourth and fifth dimensional crystallized Earth, and what will happen down here, because they have a Earth-like planet off to the side that we can't be on this planet when she goes through her changes, because nobody could withstand a frequency. We would disappear and die. So he's got everything down to the T, to the process of how major this project is, and to try and make people understand. You know, I got people, just like other contactees, like my friend Tully, Peter Slattery, I'll just name a couple. They always ask the questions because we're human. We think and do the human way. Why didn't Ray take pictures? They don't care if you take pictures of their crafts, but I guarantee you, whoever gets the first calling for contact, you can take all the pictures you want with them, go on their crafts, hug them, because you're going to be working side by side with these people learning new technologies. The first thing we're going to learn when we go into the fourth is teleportation. You're going to have your own job. Everybody's going to go through their own star seed. You're going to get educated about your past lives, who you are, and other star people relations to you. Okay? This is so far among us. You know, like I said, I've had the greatest education in this, and these are the greatest friendly people that Earthlings are going to want to meet. Okay? All of us had asked to come to this miserable planet the way it is. We all asked for this. Okay? Whether you believe it or not. And there's a reason for it. And where we're going to go now. So, I'm going to kind of stop there, and you go ahead and take over, JP.
Hang on. You got your speakers up a little loud there. There we go. Thank you. Where's okay? So there's some. It's loads of interest in the chat room, by the way. And we also have Barbara Threecrow and Nancy Hopkins and Wolf Baby in there. They've all got kind of interest in this in the things up there. So now let's see if there's any questions. Anyone got any questions typed in yet? Yeah. So yeah. Well, the only all right. Okay. The UFOs deactivate nuclear missiles around the world. This is from from 2013. This is what you're talking about when you're saying George takes care of things. Is that the sort of thing that you mean?
Yeah. There's something I want to say too about UFOs. We're all going to start seeing many different kinds of UFOs at nighttime and daytime, and the reason for this is they want to slack the fear on the people on this planet. And there's no way in hell they're going to come down and just jump and do the contact to even scare the people more. What they're probably going to do is go into a small town and kind of gradually spread out, and they'll have sound effects and go here and go there, and kind of do it that way. But once it's set in stone of the first contact and everybody's aware of what's going on, what's going to happen, I gave a little bit of it, a little tidbit, then many good star people will come. And then everybody will meet all 34 plus ones that I never met. There's so many. There won't be no more bad, no more. When you go into the fourth, you're going to be 4-8, 4-9, because there's other ETs we don't even know that are bad, but they can't handle that frequency. When you're in 4-8, they would disappear and die. It's too strong. And George and all the ETs have this. This has all been planned out, just like my life with my late father. We were chosen people. We never knew what the craft was going to look like, who was going to be in it. Okay, it was an education in itself. I was 12 years old. I'll give you a little incident. with the one-eyed Cyclops people. And, you know, the craft door came down. We walked into this room, and we're in this circle. So you want to imagine 6 giant, 8 to 10 feet tall, one-eyed Cyclops have us in a circle. And my father, because when I was a little kid, I was crying, screaming, you know, I'm young. And I knew he was ready to take 2 out, because we're human, and the fear we had. And the leader of the one-eyed Cyclops, by the name of Zuda, that's how I found out afterwards, me and my late father, had picked me up with one hand. I thought he was going to eat me because I was crying, screaming, kicking my legs. And he brought me up to his big one eye, and I felt the love and the warmth, just like that. I stopped crying and kicking. He put me down. I walked over to my dad. And that's when we heard the great words telepathically. We're not here to harm you. We were friends. We're here for information. And that's what it was for a lot of the star people, even the 4 bad ones we met that participated in this anyway. The same incident happened with the giant 6 to 7 foot tall ant people. We got tiny ants down here on planet Earth. And the reason I want to bring that up is, for everything that's tiny down here, everything out there is huge. So I just want to give your audience a little taste of that, and I'll stop for there.
So yeah, I just want to say that there's a lot going on in the chat room, and a lot of people in the more than listeners, participating group, let's say, are sort of very aware of your people with you. You know, they're hearing like, he's not alone there, and you know, there is a sound which is the sound of your laptop fan kicking in, and it does sound very kind of like an ET craft powering out, guys, in the background, but it's yeah. But
go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, so this is very interesting news. So now, how about the things like what people call geoengineering or chemtrails, or the dumping of ash waste in our atmosphere? I'm presuming that these guys are from what you might call Type 3 civilizations that can deal with this stuff. You know, clean up atmospheres and things like that.
Yeah, they can transfer themselves as high. When you get to the 6th dimension, which we would, that's way out there, you no longer have a body, but you have the power to turn yourself in any form you want, and charge is 13th, 14th dimensions. The Andromeda Council people are 8th and 9th. There's no cut down to them. My guys are a higher being. I talk to Tolik a lot, a good friend of mine. But we're all in this together. And they're going to take care of us. You know, I want to see everybody go. It's not a perfect world out there, just like it isn't here. You got good and bad up there, good and bad down here. The good outweighs the bad up there and down here. In our solar system alone, universe, there's 960 planets of the good versus 360 planets of the bad. So you can see where the good outweighs the bad. We're in good hands. These people are going to make sure we make it. As far as the chemtrails, George has the Octarians. They're very loving, spiritual beings. I got a friend that is an Octarian, but they're like the Vulcans. These Octarians are one hell of warriors when it comes to battle. They're in charge of the chemtrails, and the Vulcans are going to start working with them. There was an incident in Oregon where my friend Larry Hurst and his wife lived, that was behind his chemtrail plane, and when it sprayed the chemtrail, the Octarian UFO sucked it up, and nothing was ever fallen on the people in Oregon. I just talked to some people in Florida that were really having a bad time, like Sam is with Arizona. They're getting sprayed up the kazoo, but that has stopped. So George has got the Octarians and the Vulcans and probably the Mo people will be working all over to eliminate these chemtrail planes and actually put them in other dimensions. There's so much going on, with HAARP and CERN. They actually shut HAARP down. This is the kind of power these people have. They're not playing games no more. They're going after the bad people. There's people down here that are running the show. We're talking about politicians. I'm not going to mention any names. These people will be judged for their war crimes of killing people and other things they've done. 9/11, the list goes on. I don't know if you'll actually see it down in our planet Earth, but they will be taken up there. It's usually the Nordiques. They come down in motherships and pick these people up and take them back for trial for their crimes. And this will happen. Just like you get people that kill and steal, and anything negative will disappear and die. It won't be on this new 4th and 5th planet Earth. As we go forward, people are going to get educated. I'm not the only one. I have my meetings once a month, and I get out information there. Besides the guest I have, I've had Sam on. She's going to come in December. But it's what's going on now, what's going to happen. You got a lot of people on this planet that don't know what the hell's going on, and I understand that. These people are going to get taken care of. You got babies that are born that die at birth. You got people that are sick that can't help themselves. I've talked to George about these people in situations like this. They all automatically have a ticket to the 5th dimension. They actually bypass the 4th. Now I'm going to lay something pretty heavy on everybody, and if this really turns out to be true, our late parents, children, whatever, are waiting for us in the 5th dimension. And if this is really true, it's going to be cool. But it's beyond us. And as we move forward with these people and really get educated as we go forward, because we're going to have master teacher humans like Sam and a friend of mine in Panama by the name Chris, a couple of other people. Tolik's going to leave us, and we're going to be in good hands, because these are going to be our teachers, and they're going to teach us more. We'll be working side by side with the star people. There will be so many new things on a new planet Earth, and a lot of us can't wait. We're ready to go. We're tired of what is happening here and being controlled. What's supposed to happen as we go. You won't have no house payment, no bills whatsoever. Our homes will be gone that we have now, but when we move into the new 4th and 5th dimension, your homes will be what you want them to be, and there'll be some dome homes. You're going to have your own job. You can retire if you want. We'll have doctors, like Sam's a doctor, in medicine and other things. That's the big thing she's going to be doing. I hope Sam's still there. He's still there, Sam?
Sam might be making cookies, but we've got lots of stuff going on here. Because everybody's freaked out because you said you'll send the chemtrail planes to other dimensions. They're going, we don't want to send we don't want other dimensions to have chemtrails either. But I'm sure that what you mean is that the planes will be sent to a place where they won't actually be functional and be any harm. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, they're going to eliminate. You got some of the pilots that are whistleblowers because they know what they're spraying stuff to make us sick, and spraying stuff that's killing us. Back in my time, JP, we didn't spray our tomato plants and that, or organic plants. Today we spray anything. In the long run, in 20 years, we're killing ourselves and our kids. When I was in XGI 67, 69, I got sprayed with Agent Orange, prostate cancer, borderline diabetes. When you go into the 4th, you have no disease whatsoever. Okay? The women will appear to look 20, 25, and the men will appear to look 30, 35. The women will be 7'4". You'll be tall and slim. You're going to look real good, and you're not going to want for anything. we'll possibly be able to jump and maybe be able to fly. We'll have a human face. I always use the slogan, we're in this skin suit, because really we're a light. Our head, our tummy, and our hands are a light. And that's really what we look like. But we're a unique being. We're multi-beings. There's 12 planets out there that actually use our DNA. That's how important we are. And I just want to make your audience and the people in your chat room aware of, we have emotions and feelings of laughter and sadness. And I get my Fab Four George and all of them, except for the Serpo Grays, because they can only talk telepathy and they slur. I get them laughing, but they don't enjoy the feeling and emotion of laughter. And they're learning about us. As advanced technology as these people are, this is what they lack, and this is what they're learning. It's hard to believe. There are some ETs with a little emotion. My Vulcans showed me that, my Vulcan friends. And, a lot of us grew up with Star Trek. And I'll go back to my father and mother's times in the 30s and 40s and 50s, because the sci-fi films we were watching, and all the way up to date with Spielberg and Bradbury, contactees and abductees were whatever star people there was seeing were put in these films. So the star people are real. It's just like everything that was brainwashed in our head that was a myth. Little people, gnomes, and fairies, werewolves, they're real. And people are going to find us out. We've been lied to about a lot. We had a lot taken away. You'll know all this when you go into the 4th and 5th with your starseed family. You're going to know everything that was taken away from you. You're going to be a little bit pissed off because you're human. Of who did this? What we're doing right now in every show that I've done, and even in my meeting, the people running the show don't want us to know none of this shit. I'm sorry to say that on your show, JP, but I'm just being straightforward. And that's all I want to say right now.
So, Sam, are you back with us? No, she's not. So, she's...
Yeah, I'm here.
There you go. How's your cookies?
Sam, where'd it go, Sam?
How are those cookies? You're making my mouth water.
No, because I'm making pumpkin spice biscuits for the dogs.
Pumpkin spice biscuits for the dogs. They know it's Halloween coming up because everything tastes that funny orange flavour.
Right, and I love it.
You spoil those creatures, Muggs. You just spoil those creatures. Anyway, we're coming up to the top of the hour, and we'll play a little bit of music. And so, Sam, how have you been integrating the information that George has been giving you? How's it been working out in your own life?
You got to be kidding! I think we're all going through trials and tribulations, because no matter how much you think you're intelligent or open-minded, we're constantly being challenged to think about things that we've never thought about before. And, Ray, I didn't tell you this, but, so I'm working with Ray. I hear George all the time. George is in my head, but I also hear him on Skype. And he tells me what to write on my website, which is ebh.club. And so I keep a diary there of stuff that he's teaching or people that he's teaching. And this morning I was sitting in my chair looking out the window, and all of a sudden this white light appeared in my ceiling. And I about passed out. I mean, it didn't even stay there very long. But we just went through with Ray, where it happened to Ray a couple of times, and so now it happened to me. And I thought I would be okay with it, but when I saw it, I just freaked. So it doesn't matter how much you think you're evolved, or how grounded you think you are, or how smart you think you are. We're constantly being challenged and being pushed to the next level. And what's kind of odd to me or scary about the whole process is that there's very few people that you can actually cling on to as you go through the process, because it's very much an individual job. And your good friends, JP, you and I have been around together for a long, long, long time. And we know that we whack out. I mean, we have stuff going on in our daily lives. And so we give each other a lot of room to work things out. And we don't judge. We don't jump on each other's case and name call and do all that negative stuff. We just let people digest the new energies, make some changes in their lives, and then they come back, or sometimes they don't. I mean, Dave Corso left, Colleen Thomas left. So I don't think that there's a contactee that's out there that has everything together. I don't think that there's a contactee out there that's perfect or has the whole story, or is the brightest bulb in the deck. I think we're all in this together, and we need one another to be able to help facilitate this ascension process and allow it to acclimate into our worlds. But it is an individual job, and once you get done kind of with your temper tantrums and what have you, then you can resurface and start doing what we do is, hey, did you go through this, or did you go through that? And you'll find out that other people are experiencing the same thing. So it's really important to just stay calm. If you see somebody around you that's kind of freaking out, they might get hit with another red button to address some situation that they're going through. And just be calm. And the more research that you can do, the more that knowledge that you have, the better it's going to be. I know from working with George and Ray that these two guys have been so good with me, because I really don't have I'm not acclimating to the ET things as readily as Ray. I mean, Ray gets a message. He's like, okay, I'll go get 12 loaves of bread or whatever. He goes and he meets them, and, you know, he freaks out a little bit when he's on the ship because it might be new or whatever. But once he sees their intention, he calms down. He starts enjoying the process. He comes back and tells us. And for me, I'm just not there yet. So George takes me on rides. Either I can remote view and I can see it clairvoyantly. Ray and I have been tested with that, where we, back starting, I think it was in January, George was training us. And so what we started doing is, I'm a clairvoyant and Ray is telepathically, and we're both connected to George. So we get things a little bit different because of our own perspective, our own background. But what is way cool is that we can share the information and rebalance or check ourselves or get confirmations through one another. So we kind of have a peculiar relationship where it's the three of us doing this, me, Ray, and George. And then, of course, George has all the ETs, and Ray can meet the ETs. And so it's just a really nice balance. But when we started working together in January, what Ray and I set up was a system where I would get the clairvoyant visions like watching a movie. So when I don't know how I do this, I just kind of go into this relaxed state, and I can see everything that George has seen. I can see in the craft, I can look out the window, and I can hear what's going on via being in the ship. And then Ray would get telepathic messages from George, and so Ray would type up, we just went through a wormhole. And before he could hit send, I would say, we just went through a wormhole, because I just saw it. So we were right on top of each other. And I think we went through about 2 months of training to learn how to do this technique so that we would know how to work together and what we were getting and be able to trust what we were getting. And so once we got to that part, I think it was about March, that George started taking us on battles. And we would be now in the situation where we could both hear, because George is on Skype, we could hear the blasts outside of the craft, and I could see what was going on, and then Ray was telepathically getting the information. And so we made a really excellent team. I mean, you could not pick a better team, because the overlap of information allowed us to be more accurate. And we could rely on each other and trust each other, and it was really comfortable. So the one thing about the ETs is that they know you. They know your personality. They know how you're going to react. You probably have known them for eons. So they know you really well. They know your destiny. They know your time clock when you're supposed to wake up. And they will make it doable and comfortable for you to not only meet them, but also to go through the Ascension process. And they talk the language that you will understand at the grade that level that you're at. So depending on, like, what Ray will get will be different from what I'm getting, because we're two different beings. So we just share our information. Neither one gets mad at the other one. We just blurt stuff out, and there's an acceptance. And then we rehash and we go, okay, could it mean this? Because if I say to somebody, I'm going to give you a tomato, everybody's going to have their own idea of what that tomato is. Is it cooked? Is it raw? Is it steamed? Is it in pasta? Is it sliced up? Does it have olive oil? We all have our own preconceived ideologies of the way we perceive information. So Ray and I have been very fortunate, because we can work with each other and put things in perspective to be as accurate as humanly possible. We're not perfect. I don't think anybody's perfect, and we're always learning, but we have a really good working environment between all of us and the ETs.
Awesome. Awesome. Hey, listen, let's take a little break. I've got the perfect song. This is Steve Hillage and Oh Me Oh My, There's a Light in the Sky. And welcome back to Ever Beyond. And yeah, that was a great track, don't you think? That was Steve Hillage and Oh Me Oh My, There's a Light in the Sky. And there he was. Oh me, oh my. So I thought that was a most appropriate track. So yeah, we were just talking about the bread thing, and that basically the word's been getting around that it's like the birds. You put bread out for the birds. You bring them but you bring the spaceship's loaves. Can't they make their own bread? Is it can't they replicate it? There's probably something about the whole freshly baked bread is something you can't replicate on a ship. I don't know. Can you have a fire? Can you have an open fire on a ship? Surely these biospheres can have that sort of thing.
That I don't know, but am I on?
Yes, you are, Dre. Keep going. We're speaking with Raymond Kosulandich, by the way, and Sam Mugzzi.
The only one that ever changed the menu on me was the Nardees, because they love our donuts, and I brought 2.5 dozen donuts and 7 loaves of bread. The giant bird people, when I first met them, because my Fab Four had made them aware of me, and these guys are 9 and 12 feet tall, but I took bird seeds, sunflower seeds, and bread. They actually took the bird seed and sunflower seeds from me and thanked me. I never seen them eat it in front of me. They have like a gargle with their throat, and they have wings. Their wings are yellow, and their hair is like a mohawk. It's flat, red hair. and yellow around their hands. And they're actually a bird person from the neck up in a perfect form, human-like body. George is the same way. He's built real good. He's an elephant man from the neck up. But each one was interesting in their own way, and what we would find out a little bit about each one. But like I said, it was the greatest education ever. You were talking before we went off how they came into me, other than it was planned out by 3 generations with the star people. We were chosen. It's the energy of the being. You're loving, you're caring. If there's any negativity, you're not going to get them come into you. The ones that will try to come into you and fool you will be the negative reptilians, archons, people like this, praying mantis. And I want people to understand these praying mantis are supposed to be loving and caring. There's a friend of mine by the name of Margie Kay, who's the assistant director of MUFON. I have nothing to do with MUFON. A great friend of mine that actually talks to a praying mantis. She calls her Manny. The ones that we dealt with on the craft were bad, and they actually threw my dad down, and I kicked one in the shin, kind of jumped behind my dad. I was standing up for my dad, but I was really scared. I was only 12 years old. But there's good and bad of each species. That's what we were finding out. So I want your people to understand that, and you'll know the ones that are bad and the ones that are good. And we're all in this together. And I want to see everybody go.
Right.
But it's not a perfect world. It just isn't going to happen. And the ones I'm trying to save, because we still got a little time before things really start heating up. I was given 3 years, and I'm not here to predict anything. I've always said this on her show, other shows, in my meetings. 2015 is an amazing year. It's a pace-setting year. And then you have the silent year of 2016, and then the major year that everybody's talking about, 2017, for us humans. But the process, everything is moving so fast that you got people out there predicting 2089, the list goes on. You can predict all you want. This thing is getting ready to happen because everything is set. It's a major project with George and these other billions, it's probably billions of ETs that he's brought into the picture to make all this happen. And then, like I said, Mother Earth is the biggest piece. She's the ending, but a lot of people are going to ascend. There will be earthquakes, volcanoes erupting. We're going to have time. We're going to have warnings, and people need to heed to that. I got something on Mugzi's show 2 Mondays ago, Arizona, St. Louis, Missouri, California, southern part of Idaho and Montana that are on alert. We're all on alert, and the reason I say that, all the fault lines are active. This has never happened before. Back in 1964, the great 9.3 earthquake in Alaska with a tsunami that killed a lot of people. We got more warnings now with the right people that are here compared to the people that are running the show. You got CERN that caused a lot of 4.3s because they're trying to eliminate people and cause destruction. And thank God for George and the good ETs that are behind us. We're not in this alone, that are going to protect us and make sure we go through this smooth. And, I said in the beginning, they're watchers and protectors of this planet, and they're going to make sure there's no destruction. And anything happen to humans now, they're going to intervene on everything. The only thing they won't intervene on is everyday life. And everybody's going to get educated through this. It's the people that run the show down here don't want us to even be talking about this or having shows. If everything was set in stone and everything was perfect, we wouldn't be doing these shows with JP and Sam and people like that. But it's not a perfect world. And Mother Earth is really, really old. And I think everybody understands that. And the process she has to go through. So, as an individual, you know, it's up to you to do good things and keep doing good things and being loving. You are going to go to the fourth and fifth. You got any negativity in you, you're not going. I'm not playing God. I don't make the rules. This is the way it is. And everybody's tired of the way it is down here. And the way we've been living here. You know, there's a lot of corruption, a lot of killing. God didn't make this planet this way. You know, we've done this to ourselves. But we are under the rules. When I first, and my late father was with me, they knew about the two biggest things down here, the greed and disease, and destroying our planet. And we're part of it, because we live here and we go underneath the rules. But the people running the show are a big part of it. And everybody knows what we need to do. And we're turning everything around, and they know this, okay? You got a lot of good people, a lot of good corporations coming in the picture. We'll be weeding out these people. The only thing I want to say that might stun some people, and I just want them to put it in the back of their head, the silent year of 2016, we may not have an election. I just want to say that, the way this is going. And that's all I want to say for right now.
That's all you want to say about the silent year. It's a very interesting thing, because Cliff High and the Webbot spoke about, you know, holes in the data, and when things went quiet, and, you know, perhaps the internet goes down or something like that. What's your feeling? What do you feel it means by the silent year?
Well, there's a lot can happen in that year. You know, we're going through a process of 3 years, all the way to the major year of 2017. But as fast as everything's moving, and beyond the star people being amazed about that, it's going to happen quicker. But as we go through the process, you know, people are going to start to ascend. And me and Sam had a show on Ascension that's taped, that's already up there on her EBH, her website, mine, and YouTube, to help people understand we're all in this as an individual, but we're all in this together, and what the process will be. I just want everybody ready. Our job as a contactee is to make as many people aware of the role you have to be in order to go. You're loving and conscious and good and doing things. We're not perfect people, but we want to be the best we can be. If we have any negativity in us, we got to get it out, or we don't go. You know, I got people in my meetings that say they're loving and caring, and I know they're lying. Okay? It's up to you as an individual. I don't care if you're walking an old lady across the street or open a door for a woman. You're doing something good. This is going to help you get there. This is the energy that these star people want to be around. That's why they chose me and other contactees like me. These abductees go through horrible scenarios. And, you know, this whole thing was planned for me. My late grandfather and my late father, I can speak for them and myself. We didn't ask for this. You know, there were some things back in the 50s we were asked to do. You know, like go to the White House and tell the people to let us in to talk to the president. You know, we weren't anybody important. We knew this wasn't going to happen. We told the star people we'd get in a lot of trouble. They can make us disappear. They started understanding things of the people. They were chosen to get answers out. You know, and I've gotten it out in my meetings and through shows. I started off with a table in my backyard because they always wanted a meeting place for people to have a safe haven that nobody could harm them. Because if we go outside and talk about this First thing, people think we're nuts. I don't care anymore. I got a lot of power behind me. I'm not worried about the people on the show. I'll be here and see this through. We're two lay people and the people on this planet to go where we're supposed to go. And I want everybody to go. That's all I want to say to them.
So, Mugzzi, how's the biscuits going?
Yeah.
I want to snickerdoodles. Can you explain to the audience what snickerdoodles are and how you might make them? I know that this might be off subject, but this is a seasonal issue, isn't it? Snickerdoodles is a thing does it come from, is it an Arizona treat or is it like Italian or something?
No, everybody does it. It's on the internet. You can get the recipe. But, okay, listen to what he just said. Now, people that help other people. This is what George taught me. The ETs are looking for those kinds of people to join their home. So, all right, I'm making snickerdoodles and I'm making this stuff for my dogs. Now, if you're an ET and you're picking people from a third dimensional planet, who do you want on your planet? You want
someone who makes snickerdoodles for their dogs.
Damn straight. Now you get it. George knows he's going to be getting snickerdoodles.
Well, he should taste my risotto. I tell you, I made some food last night, but before as a sort of aperitif, I had some wasabi. Do you know what wasabi is?
Of course.
Yeah, so I had some wasabi peanuts, right? And I blew my taste buds apart, and so I didn't know how much spice I put into it until this morning. Or this afternoon when I had some more. I can almost not eat it now. It's so hot, and Nikki left half of it, and I now understand why. It was just like too hot. So sorry, darling. Big apology for overcooking from the inside. But yeah, so it's lovely to serve others. It's really good fun to this is what she likes, and this is what you like, and you look after your dogs and you give them treats and it's always good to have an opportunity to serve. And you know me, people will always, you'll send people to JP for, wiring advice or, stuff like that. I'm always available.
There's something different that happens when you're in service to others, and I'm not talking doormat material, people that just, get taken advantage. I'm talking about people that have discernment. They can filter through and find the right people to service or make them happy or do something. But when you have that frame of mind, your life choices become limited because now you're on a positive timeline and you'll be making choices because your mindset is in an alpha state and you're choosing a reality that is going to be more in alignment with the positive timeline. People that are narcissistic or into it for themselves and they're greedy, they're in a beta brainwave and they make different choices because of the way that they see the world. So, for example, like, if somebody came to me and, let's say, gave me 5 pieces of gold. Well, I only need 1 for safety, so I would then look for some people like me and give 4 pieces of gold. But if you have a beta brainwave and you're making different, you're going to be greedy. So all 5 pieces of gold are going to be yours. And you're going to be looking to get more. So your life really starts to change when you are a healthy in-service mindset opposed to somebody that is greedy and, doing the beta brainwave. Okay, your turn.
Hey, JP, I don't know if you'll let Sam do this. But Sam, tell people how we met.
By the way, where'd you meet him?
That was really a weird story. My dad had just passed away. My mom was having panic attacks about every 3 minutes. My life was total shit. And I was just like at my wit's end. And I remember praying, I need help because I'm working, I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm having to deal with grief. So I started praying that I needed help. I needed help. Well, my friend owns a health food store, and so she offered me the office in the back of the health food store to set up as a clinic to start seeing people. And so there was a few people that would come in, you know, 1 a week, 2 a week or something. Well, all of a sudden, I think it was on week 3, I get this husband and wife coming in. And the husband and wife didn't really give two craps about what I had to say about their health. I could tell it was what they were teaching me. And they came in, he wanted to talk to me and was telling me about Valiant Thor and telling me to get this book. So I said, okay. So he was like, once he got his message through, boom, he's out of my office and gone. So I thought, okay, I need to get this book. Well, I got really, really busy. So him or his wife would call me once a month to see if I got the book. And I didn't. Finally, about September, I got the book. So they would call me every month. Finally, September, I got the book, and they asked me if I read it yet. And I said, no, I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to do it right now because you guys keep calling me, so I'm going to do it. So I sat down and read the book, Stranger in the Pentagon. My jaw was on the ground. I went to YouTube. I started researching everything that I could find on Valiant Thor and Dr. Frank Strange's. So once I got that done, in October, the 1st of October, he called me up and he said, did you read the book? I said, yeah, I read the book. Oh my God. And he said, yeah. He said, and it's true. I've been there because Valiant Thor is stationed about a little over an hour from my house, right on, the Boulder, the Hoover Dam. He's over there. So he's only a little over an hour from me. So anyway, I went to call him back like a week later, and they were gone. The phone didn't go through, the number was changed, whatever, they were gone. And I thought, oh my God, that was weird. So I started thinking, wow, it would be really great. Now, was it my thoughts or they gave me the thoughts? I don't know. I was thinking, wow, wouldn't it be great to find somebody that knew about all these different races? I would love to meet him. Now, that would be my dream guy. You know, somebody that you could interview that would know about all these different races, and we could get a great idea of the different beings that are out there. So then, about 2 weeks later, Dermot Kelly sends me an email and he said, hey, I got a new friend. His name is Ray, and I really want you to meet him. And I said, all right, fine, you know, no big deal. I'm really busy, but all right, you know, and I just blew it off because I'm so busy. I just blew it off. Well, then that night I went to YouTube and I thought, well, I'll see what Alfred's doing, Alfred Weber. And he was interviewing this guy named Ray Kosulandich. So I watched the show and I just about died over. I mean, you could have pushed me over. And I said, oh my God, that's my dream guy. That's my dream guy. How do I get a hold of this Ray Kosulandich? So the next day, Dermot sends me an email and he said, hey, Ray's waiting for you to talk to him. I said, yeah, okay, I'm busy. I'm hunting down my dream guy right now. I'm really busy. I can't do this. So I said, have him email me. So Dermot does. He sends Ray a message, and so he writes me back and he says, okay, Ray's written you. It's in your email account. And I said, okay, fine. So anyway, I thought, well, I'm too busy to go check right now. So I'm on the hunt for this Ray Kosulandich. How am I going to get a hold of him? He's probably really busy. And so I got really exasperated that how am I going to get to this Ray guy? So then Dermot writes me again. He goes, hey, you're not answering Ray. He's waiting for you on Skype. Answer your emails. I said, okay. And all of a sudden it dawned on me, Ray. So very slowly I type, is this Ray Kosulandich? And Dermot writes me back, yeah, he's waiting for you. I'm like, oh my gosh, you could have hit me over the head with a brick. So I went and I went on Skype and we started talking, and we just had great fun talking, and we did that for about 3 weeks. And then in my head, I heard, which one of the Fab Four would you like to meet or would you like to talk to? And so the Nordics was out because of all this stuff that I've heard. And Greys, the Serpos, I don't know anything about them, but they kind of scare me. And I thought, well, the Elephant Man would be perfect. He'd be great. So pretty soon, it was about a day, 2, 3 later, George started coming in on our Skype calls, and I could hear him. And so Ray and I talked about that, and Ray and I would spend like 4 or 6 hours a day talking and going over this stuff, and I got used to hearing George. Well, then about the first part of December, George started talking, but we couldn't really hear him because he was out in space, and I think he had a mask on or something, but we could hear him like when he would breathe real heavily, or we started diagnosing what sounds we would hear in the ship or try to figure out where he was. And so George started doing that for about 2 weeks, and I thought, that's ridiculous. We keep calling him the Elephant Man. We need to call him by a name. So that's when I came up with George, because it's non-threatening, it's friendly, and he's our buddy. He's got our back. If we need help, he's there. So that's the story. That's how it happened.
Very good.
So how was that from your side, Ray? So you were keeping on reaching out to Mugzzi until she was like, "Oh, I'm too busy." she didn't see you.
Well, I knew that he had brung us together, and she's a remarkable woman to begin with, and I can trust her. She can trust me. I have her back. She has mine. And George picked the two best people for the love connection of what we do to help the people, and it was astonishing on how we work together. And that's where I wanted to be. And that's kind of what we're doing now. I don't know how many shows I've done with her. I just did my 80th radio show total, but it's just an amazing person. And, we work well together, and she'll get information through George. I'll actually talk to George. Telepathic. I have a code to get to him for an emergency if I need him. I've only used it 4 times. It worked every time. So, it was a great 2 humans and a star person working together like never before. He's so friendly. He's a warrior, and all these people are so friendly. It's unreal. But yeah, I was finally where I wanted to be, and that's where we're at now. And we've done a lot of shows together. We're doing your show for the first time. I just want to commend you for having me. It's an honor to be here, and I hope that I helped your people understand a little bit, just like Sam has. And it's great to be with 3 people, including yourself, JP, to get this out.
Well, it's great fun to have you here. I mean, it's part of the kind of themes of the day. I mean, part of it is about, one of the themes of the day was the elephant people and various other things, including forgiveness. And there's got to be a lot of forgiveness on the part of everybody, because there's so much fear been built up.
Oh yeah.
What's the general feel on how we can start kind of backing down from all the antipathy that we have towards our fellow men and women? Even the first one, which is between men and women and men, we all hate each other. That's why it's so terrible. How do we deconstruct all that? How do they feel we can, how can they help us do that, but without sort of making us do it?
Well, because we're starting to do the right thing. We're changing everything, and they know that, compared to what we were doing before. and the people that were above us controlling us. Because everybody's an individual with common sense and imagination, two of the biggest weapons we got besides weapons. You know what you're supposed to do. You know why you're here. You know, you got families and boy and girlfriend, single people, all different scenarios. And but there's more to just a job, and you got an education, and to be educated as a human being. Nobody's left out. It's a learning process as we age. What's going on? What was taken away that they want to control us to our everyday jobs, and that's now they got the women working with this. So the only time you have time for this of what we're talking about is like a half a day on Sunday, because everybody has to get ready to do another 40 or 60 hours or 80 hours of work, and then you got families involved, so you're pretty occupied. And people are starting to wake up what's happening to our planet. You know, the forest, cutting down so many trees. The beauty of our forests is that we're losing the way it's happening in the Antarctic, of the ice melting. The oceans are warming up. What we're doing to the water and the oil spills, and there's just so much involved that we have to turn around and clean up. And that's what we're doing. And we got the right people doing it, other than for the almighty dollar. You know, this is what this world is based on. And I learned that when I went in service. It's our kids dying for this country and protecting our people. It's not their kids. Okay? We're exempt. And the people are tired of this. I can remember back in my time, it was one kid in harm's way and the other son wasn't. Now we got women fighting, and if there's 4 boys in the family, they're all going. That ain't the way it's supposed to be. I remember Henry Kissinger saying it out of his own mouth, 80% of the population has to go. Where did these people get to play God with our lives? You know, and that's what's been happening down there. And the game's over for them, and they know it. They're going to try and do everything they can. And the people are getting smarter. They're going to where, like these shows that we're doing, what I do with Sam and other shows like that, telling the truth. Tired of the bullshit and lies, and where we're all going to go. And this is all going to happen in the way we start doing the right things down here on the planet to get there. And the huge backing we have of people that have come from all kinds of ways to get here, of the good, to pursue the human being that is a multi-being human. We are so important to them. And each individual human is starting to realize how important we are. Okay? And where we're going to go in this process to reap the benefits now in the 21st century humans. That should have happened a long time ago. To never have and want for nothing, never have a bill. It should have never been in the picture. But you got these reptilians and these families that are reptilians that come in here and use a monetary system of money. This is the only way you can live on this planet, but all that's going to change. You take all the rich people that have money now, and when money disappears, what do they have, JP?
They have Mugzzi.
Right. And they have nothing. They really have nothing. So where we're going to go is where we should have went. The monetary system of energy and goods, just like the star people. And that's the way it's going to be. And the life that everybody's going to have. To want for nothing, no poverty, no wars, no disease, no bills, and live happy like never before. And this is what everybody is going to enjoy and be blessed with and live our life. We're going to live longer than what we're living now. I was talking to George. He's about 1,200 years old, but anyway, the life of a human, that's why he's really right what he's saying. We're in the sun a lot. These people have 2 suns on their planet. They're always underground on their planets. And I could see what he was getting at. We're in the sun a lot, so the cells that die, that give us old age and wrinkle, our top scientists are trying to reverse that. That would be our immortality. The immortality of a Nordic is 1,800 years. Serbo Gray is 350 years. It's what these people have learned about living underneath the ground and the benefits of their way of life. You hardly ever hear of an ET being seen in the daytime because they don't stay out there very long. They go back in their craft. And it's just been an amazing education to learn certain things from these people of what we're doing wrong and what they're going to teach us to do right. So there's going to be a lot of amazing things happening for us as we move forward. And everybody's going to want to come on board. You know, look at your cell phone. It's alien technology. The telephone company, Southwestern Bell, actually buried their coax cable in the ground, but if you were to go down and dig it up, you can't cut it, you can't burn it. And what it actually says on the cable is alien technology. So I know what they got, and it's usually through the bad ones. The good ones won't even give them the time of day. But we'll kind of play a game real quick. When they came in the picture, the bad ones, our people, NASA, and all the, who wanted technology from them. So they let them abduct, let's say, 100 people for alien technology. But what our idiots that run the show here, that don't use common sense, realize that these star people that were bad had the technology and the power to abduct millions of people, and that's what they did. And a lot of these people went through horrible situations in these abductions. And people are starting to wise up of what's going on and what they're doing in Area 51 and other places. So I'm glad that George and all these good beings have stepped in. They've went to the hot spots to take care of underground bases. They've got rid of a lot of reptilians. Some of our soldiers were involved with this. They did something about 2 months ago in California, and it was actually shown. They had pictures where George went over there in some kind of a speaker he used and told them to get out of them underground bases because they were going to blow them up. And all these soldiers were in a caravan getting in their trucks, actually leaving. And then they blew up the bases. I thought it was kind of neat. That's the kind of power we have backing us up. They're not playing games no more. And they're going after anybody that tries to interrupt this and interrupts us from proceeding to where we're supposed to go now. We're in the 21st century. We're still using gas and oil. And all this is going to end. No more greed, no more money. That's all I'm going to say today.
Mugzzi, we have about 10 more minutes. Are you there?
Well, what I want to say, yeah, I'm here. What I want to say is that Ray gets like the big picture of things. And I've started stepping into my teacher role, and my teacher is Kuda, who is an Arcturian, and he helps with the details like how do we acclimate our consciousness, how do we expand our thoughts, how do we think about our relationships. So I get more of the finite details of the process of how to, and I type that up on ebh.club. And my readers that read the site really enjoy that because it empowers them. They know ahead of time, like a day, 2, 3 days before George is going to do something, he'll tell me, and then I type it up on EBH so that when there is an earthquake or when there is something happening, people already know because George already told them. So they, instead of acting in fear, they go, oh yeah, okay. You know, that's George. And there's no fear. So if George teaches me about what they're doing and why they're doing it, and again, I get all the details, and Ray gets the overall big picture of everything. So, and I type it all up on ebh.club so that the readers can be a part of that and see what I'm being taught, what I'm being shown, and if there is a warning, I can post it, you know, a day or two beforehand so people can get prepared. So I just wanted to say that because you asked about the consciousness and how to acclimate. And the rules to life is changing. And I'm typing up the new 5D rules so that when we do get there, in that type of frequency, we'll know how to act, we'll know what to expect, and we've already changed it in our personal lives. So I hope that helps.
She's doing a wonderful job, and everybody needs to go to ebh.club and read this. Everything's up there every day, something different that she's doing. Okay? She's a big part of this, and we work together, and then whatever being or whatever situation comes up that I'm involved with, me and Sam always talk. So she's a fantastic person. I need her. She needs me, and we need George, and we're working together for everybody, and you're going to know everything. Just go there and watch our shows too, and I get all my meetings are taped now, so people will be able to watch them on YouTube. I have my own YouTube channel. If people want to reach me, capital KOSSEE baby, BABY 47 at gmail.com. Sam can give her thing, and if you can send us a link to this show, JP, we would really appreciate it.
Not a problem, Ray. I was going to call you George. Not a problem, Ray. I'll probably also load it onto YouTube, possibly. Well, I mean, it's yeah. So. Sorry, I've been I'm a bit distracted. I'm looking at the recordings, making sure that I've actually got a recording. So yeah, it has been recording, and so that's all right. Yeah, so putting up the recording, I'll give you a link to the MP3, and you can do your thing with it. Okay?
Thank you.
That's not a problem. I'll pass it to Sam, and she'll pass you the link. Right. So we're about 6 minutes away from the end of the show. Now, Sam, you've been talking about ebh.club, but you've got vast numbers of different websites and other things. So, do you want to reel off a few of those slowly, so people can take them down, and then and Ray as well. Actually, what I'm interested in, Ray, is and yeah, if you can come in after Mugzzi, is do you have like a website that has all the different races on? Profiles of all the races and pictures and things.
Sam has drawings. The interview I did with Alfred, some of the drawings are on my just said it my YouTube channel.
All right.
They're all there for everybody to see. Number 34, I'll meet with Jeannie Blankenship. She draws them all Tuesday, and I'll get that out as soon as I can. And it'll be on my YouTube channel and Facebook. Sam's going to get one. I'll try and get one to you personally too, JP. Certain other people, but everybody will get to see what the Vulcans look like.
Excellent. So, sorry, Sam. On you go. Reel off all your websites and how people can get hold of you and have consultations and learn to eat right and all that stuff.
Oh my gosh! Get a pen and paper ready.
That's right, you've got 6 minutes, so take your time.
All right. Spiritual Light extraterrestriallightworkers.com. You can call Ray and speak to him privately. Seth is on there, Devin's on there, I'm on there, and I'm getting other contactees on there so people can call them up and speak to them privately. It helps the contactees out because you're paying money to, it's an exchange of energy. So it helps them out so that they don't have to have a 3D work environment. So spirituallightworkers.com. predictmyfuture.com is my psychic site. I'm on both, and you can call us on there. empoweringbetterhealth.com. I have all kinds of articles and stuff about health and what you should know about the food that you're eating. ebh.club. I have some of my protocols. I also have my shop, my store on there. And if somebody wants to hire me as their personal healing coach, they can do that on there, and I do that individually. So you can access that there, plus George's diary, plus there's all kinds of information on there. Paradigm Shift at Blog Talk Radio is where I have my radio show on Monday nights from 7 to 8 or 7 to 9. Sam Mugzzi on Facebook, and I'm available there too. I'm pretty accessible, and if you are an ebh.club member, which is $10 a month, and you get a ton of information, but you can also have my private email address and send me emails and updates and things like that. So I am accepting internet clients, and I can work with patients online, and I have a Skio biofeedback machine that works in the meta space, so I can work long distance, and I have my protocols together. And in the near future, I'm right now working on 5 books at the same time. So those books are going to come out about quantum healing and why we need to be quantum healing ourselves and not using Western medicine modalities, because our bodies are alkaline, and everything that Western medicine uses is on the acid spectrum. So the moment you start taking an antibiotic, you're creating cancer, which is a trademark name that's owned by the pharmaceutical companies, which means you have parasites and fungus. So, and it all begins with the food that you eat, and antibiotics contribute a lot to that. So if somebody has a bunch of health concerns, you can hire me through ebh.club, and I jump right in and start putting protocols together for that individual. How'd I do?
Perfect.
Did I get them all?
You, how about your Twitter? You have Twitter? Do you tweet?
But I don't really go there. No, but freethinkingradio.com is a website that I have all my radio shows are archived, and on YouTube I have Sam Mugzzi, and all my videos are put up there so people can see my videos once they're turned in from a stream that's on Blog Talk, and then we produce and make videos. So tweet, I don't really do all that. I don't have enough time. I'm like running 20 hours a day as it is. And then Ray, he drops, hey, quick, I just went and met the Vulcans, so everything drops. You have to go find out what the Vulcans had to say. So it's kind of funny.
It's a busy life, isn't it? Having been to be spontaneous and in response to the universe. Thank you so much, both of you. It's been quite a trip, as you might imagine. So we're just going to be taking the outro here and taking it into the Earth Healers group. So thanks very much, Ray Kosulandich, and Sam Mugzzi, our dear old friend and founder Wolfpack member. This has been JP on Ever Beyond. Yes, it's the old one. Thank you very much, everybody. Good night.
Thank you.
beyond.